here is a more complicated nonlinear inequality. In this inequality, the other side is equals to 0. So in the previous video, I discussed a problem when the other side is not equals to 0. So whenever you see a nonlinear inequality, nonlinear means you have a higher degree. So in this problem, I have a square right over here. Other than that, when you expand the square and you have this, the x squared times x, so the highest degree you have is the fourth power, so which is definitely not linear. So that's why I call this nonlinear inequality. Back to the problem. When you solve an inequality, make it a nonlinear inequality, okay, nonlinear. Make sure the other side is equals to 0. All right, so this one, the other side is equals to 0. The left-hand side is in factor form. So what I need to do is I have to find the zeros. All right, so let's find the 0. So finding the 0 means I have to treat the less than as a 0. So you have x minus 3 squared, and then x plus 1, and then x minus 2. Let's let that equals to 0. So what x equals to? So you have minus 3 plus 1 and minus 2. So obviously, you have x equals to positive 3. All right, positive 3. I know there is a square, but positive 3 will be a repeated 0. Positive 3, negative 1, right? And then positive 2. So you have 3 zeros. Okay, so how do we use these 3 zeros? We drop them on a number line. So let's draw a number line. Number line, let's use a different color for number line. So number line, I'm going to draw a longer number line. All right, and then we have 3 numbers, right? From the smallest to the largest. So we have negative 1, and then we have a positive 2, and then we have a positive 3. Now, do we agree that we just cut the number line into 3 intervals? I am going to move my line up so I have more space to show all the work on one page. I'm going to move my line up. So we have 3 intervals. So let's go ahead and then write our test interval. So we have our test intervals. The first one is from negative infinity to negative 1. And then we have from negative 1 to positive 2. From positive 2 to positive 3. And then from positive 3 to positive infinity. All right, so here are our test intervals. 1 line, 3 cut, so that divide the line into 4 pieces. And then I have to choose my test values. Test values is you pick a number within each interval. So this, I'm going to pick something easy, negative 2. This one, I will pick x equals to 0. How about x equals to 1, x equals to 4? Now, you might ask me, hey, what if there is an equal? So if there is an equal, should we consider a square bracket? I would just say, don't worry about that. Less than or equal to, I don't really care about the equal. When you write the test interval, use open intervals, right? Don't use square bracket. We will take care of the equal when we draw our final answer. All right? And then we are going to test the sign. So the sign, this is x minus 3. X minus 3 squared, so we have x minus 3 squared. This is x plus 1. And then we have x minus 2. So we just plug in. Okay, so for the square, I know whenever you square, you always get a positive, right? So you have a negative 2 minus 3 squared, and then 0 minus 3 squared. And then 1 minus 3 squared, and then 4 minus 3 squared. Negative 2 plus 1, 0 plus 1, 1 plus 1, 4 plus 1, 2, negative 2 minus 2, 0 minus 2, and then 1 minus 2, 4 minus 2. So this, due to the square right over here, so this will be all positive, right? Whenever you square a number. You can work the math out and then square the result, but I can tell you that it's always positive, right? 1 minus 3, I know is negative. Once you square that, you get a positive. Positive what? I don't really care positive what. All I need to know is that is positive. Negative 2 plus 1, I know is negative 1. So this is negative 1. Negative 4, you can calculate, but you don't really need to. So this will be a 2, this will be a negative 1, and then keep going. So this is a 5, this is a 2, right? So all I need to know is that it's negative, negative. And then this is a positive, negative, positive, negative, and then this is a positive, positive. So let's draw our conclusion. So conclusion of what? Remember this, we have the whole thing less than 0. You see that? We have this, we have the entire line less than 0. Less than 0 means what? What kind of number is less than 0? Negatives, right? So we have a positive times negative, that will be a positive. Do you see that I use the word times? Why do I use the word times? Because you have 3 factors, you multiply them. That's why you multiply the plus and the minuses. And then here, you do a positive times negative, then you get a negative. Positive times negative, positive or positive. Are we looking for positive or negative? We have less than 0, so we are looking for negative. So that will be this interval and that interval. So at the end of the day, we are looking for this. So we have a number line. We have a negative 1, we have a 2, we have a 3. Okay, so I want this interval, so that will be right here, right? So that will be between negative 1 and negative 2, and then also right here between negative 2, between positive 2 and positive 3. Did I say negative 2? All right, okay, so you might ask me, hey, what about this piece and then what about this piece? We don't need them, because once you select a value in this interval or this interval, you get a positive, then that is not going to be less than 0. All right, so we are restricted our selection within this interval and that interval. Should we include the negative 1, 2, and 3? The answer is no, we do not, because there is no equal. All right, so there is no equal. When there is an equal, yes, you can include them. So what is my answer? My answer is I want, oh, by the way, can I just include 2 because 2 is between negative 1 and 3? No, again, there is no equal. Once you let x equals to 2, let's take a look. Once you let x equals to 2, you see that once you put a 2, this will be a 0, and then the whole thing is 0. 0 is not less than 0. So do not include the 2, negative 1, and 3. You can do a quick check. X equals to 3, x equals to negative 1, x equals to 2. You just break the less than instantly, right? Okay, so my very final answer will be x between negative 1 and 2, x between 2 and 3. So when you select a value for x, pick the value within either one of these interval. And then the interval will be negative 1 to 2, and then 2 to 3. No square bracket at all. All right, so that is the end of this problem and also this video. If this is something that you would like to see, give me a thumbs up. Subscribe for more contents like that. As always, I will meet you all in the next one. Signing out.